So my friends, as I make my way to my seat, let's claim a truth that what men mean for evil, God can work to good. Let us prove together that the stones that the builder rejected can change the world. That this will be a state where the weak grow strong and the strong grow great. Because this is the day the Lord has made. When I look at you, I know that out of one blood, God has made all people. And this is the day the Lord has made. When I look around and see what the Lord has done, I see a new North Carolina. I see a new South. I see a new future. This is the day the Lord has made.
We say to the forces of evil, to the forces of division, we say the good people of North Carolina will come together. We will not back up. We will not back down. We will not turn around. We say forward together, not one step back.
For what do you require of us, O Lord, but to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before you?
Moral isn't Republican or Democrat, but it must be democratically applied to all people.
Every Moral Monday has its own character, but let me tell you why I'm here today. I'm from Eastern North Carolina.
God of justice, the hearer of the cries of the oppressed, this is what we are experiencing.
In Eastern North Carolina as a whole, there are 475,000 people without health insurance. Terrell County has the highest. 22.5% of the people in Terrell County are uninsured.
Did you know Medicaid expansion will provide health insurance coverage to nearly 500,000 low-income North Carolinians?
There are 66,000 children in Eastern North Carolina that lack medical insurance.
Did you know the federal government will fund the entire cost of the expansion for the first 3 years?
They are our legislators, and through them, we have wounded all North Carolinians by refusing to accept the resources that provide health care to all citizens of North Carolina.
And by denying Medicaid expansion, not only are you hurting people, you're going to increase the burden and the cost to hospitals that are already strapped. And you all know our rural hospitals are already strapped.
And right here in Dare County, there's 3,835 Medicaid recipients. If the expansion would go through, it's projected there's another 1,194 residents that would be eligible.
We must demand health care for all from this legislature and this governor, because every single one of them is guaranteed state health care for themselves.
Moral isn't a black and white issue, and it sure as heck isn't black versus white or white versus black.
Did you know the Racial Justice Act was passed with bipartisan support to reduce racial bias in the application of the death penalty? Did you know it worked? To date, 4 people on death row have had their sentences commuted. Did you know McCrory's repeal of the Racial Justice Act cripples our ability to root out racial bias in the application of the death penalty?
You know, you got to go way back to find somebody that will publicly stand up and vote against racial justice.
Morality is not age-related. I've known incredibly moral teenagers and disappointingly immoral adults.
They are our legislators, and through them, we have hurt thousands of North Carolina families.
Did you know that North Carolina is the only state in the union to deliberate actions to deny long-term unemployment benefits to eligible citizens?
The overall unemployment rate in North Carolina is 8.5%, but in the 41 counties in the east, 31 of them had a rate higher than the state average. And the average for 41 counties down here is 10.6%, 2 full points higher than the state average. And yet this legislature cut 170,000 people, not Democrats, not Republicans, not black, not white, not Latino, but people. They cut 170,000 people's unemployment assurance.
Moral doesn't belong to a single religious belief. All religious beliefs ask us to act morally, but you don't have to be religious to act morally either.
They are our legislators, and through them, we have infringed upon the rights of women.
I wonder what's wrong with these folks. Sometimes I want to ask, wasn't your mama a woman?
The beaches and inlets in North Carolina account for more than 39,000 jobs. Those current jobs are our jobs. This is our livelihood. And we're asked by offshore drilling to take the risk. We are asked to take the risk, while the reward would go to someone else, the oil companies.
Now, we live on the coast, so fracking is going to occur up there in the Piedmont area, up there in Raleigh, up there, between us and Raleigh. So why are we worried about it? Well, like a lot of things that occur in Raleigh, it flows downhill.
They are our legislators, and through them, we have turned our eyes away from the most vulnerable by slashing the budgets of public education.
In 2007-2008, North Carolina was ranked 25th in the nation in teacher pay. Our state is now ranked at 46th. With no additional pay next year, North Carolina undoubtedly will be at the bottom, even below Mississippi.
But you say you support children. But then you pass voucher schemes to take money from public schools and give it to private schools. You cut poor children's access to preschool. And the courts have already ruled that that's illegal twice, and yet they continue to do that.
Beginning in the 2014-15 school year, educators will receive no additional pay for additional degrees. Imagine you being treated by a doctor, dentist, or practitioner, and their education and degrees do not matter.
Our North Carolina legislators have enacted policies that take away our voting rights.
On August 12, North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory signed the nation's worst voter suppression law.
To this we say, God of justice, have mercy.
The voter ID requirement, the cuts to early voting, the elimination of same-day voter registration, the refusal to count out-of-precinct provisional ballots, and the increase in the number of poll watchers. These changes will make North Carolina the new Florida when it comes to long lines and electoral chaos.
It's immoral and it's extreme and it's a political hypocrisy to attack voting rights. And when you pass legislation that is nothing more than voter suppression. And again, when you lie and you say there's voter fraud, Tom Tillis and that group said it was voter fraud, voter fraud, voter fraud. Then he went on MSNBC one morning, thought most of you all weren't looking, and said there was no voter fraud. But I was looking.
What moral is kind and colorblind, inclusive and gender blind, equal and sexual orientation blind, compassionate and religious orientation blind, fair and social power position blind. Moral seeks the best for all people.
Did you know this is not the end?
We, the people, still believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality.
Just because we are privileged to be here doesn't mean that we shouldn't stand up for the rights of others in North Carolina to make sure that we protect our environment.
Moral creates a community where we can all live in the shelter of each other.
People of Dare County, people of Eastern North Carolina, people of North Carolina, we can do better than this for our families.
Did you know that teachers and school employees vote? Did you know that we have grandparents and fathers and mothers and sisters and brothers, aunts, uncles, cousins, children, grandchildren, extended families, friends, and acquaintances who vote?
is the day that we say to the ultra-right, from here on out, we're going to declare health care is a moral issue. Public education is a moral issue. Budget's a moral issue. Treating workers right is a moral issue. This is the day.
And I want you to know that North Carolina women and men will no longer stand for this oppression.
This is the day that some of us reach down in our faith, Reverend, and we declare they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. This is the day that we say if God be for us, it doesn't matter if the whole world is against us. This is the day that we declare the Lord is our light and our salvation. This is the day that we say there's no power greater than love. There's no force greater than truth. There's no cause more noble than justice. This is the day that we believe greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world.
We, the people of North Carolina, are a people resolved to fight, to fight, to fight.
Somebody say, uh-oh. Uh-oh, they brought a loud black preacher like me together with Linda, and we organizing together. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Instead of dividing us, they have united us. Uh-oh. We say to the extremists, if the NAACP and others can get together in Dare County out here on a Monday afternoon, it's going to be a fight, but we're going to win.